Now, despite the warning of the aviation stakeholders of Nigeria regarding following the Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali's exit from ECOWAS, that they might ban their airspace, and that will be a huge loss for Nigeria. Uh, but still, Nigeria went ahead and renewed the suspension of banning the flight or the air space between Nigeria and Niger. Now, here is what happened. The federal government of Nigeria has renewed the ban of commercial flights from Niger to Nigeria and from Nigeria to its northern bordering country in accordance with an economic community of Western African states resolution. This is now they're blaming it. It's a resolution that came out from ECOWAS. Well, there are few exemptions to the suspension of the flight, which is now the Nigerian airspace, according to the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, or also known as NAMA, it has clarified that authorized exemptions to the ban include overflight aircraft traversing Nigerian airspace, also aircraft in a state of emergency, and special flights. These are not part of the banning or the suspension. Now, just to give you a background, it all started back in July 2023 when the government in Niger changed it, to be specific, on July 23. Now, the authority of heads of state and government of ECOWAS, they closed their land, their borders with the Niger Republic or Niger, and declared a no-fly zone. So what ECOWAS did is that following, as they call it, the regime change in Niger or the coup d'etat, the Economic Community of Western African States, or ECOWAS, convened a meeting, which was an extraordinary summit where most of the leaders have, attended of the Western African states to address the situation. And when they passed that resolution of no-fly zone, amongst the closures, this were there, the closure of ECOWAS member states' land and air borders with Niger, along with the establishment of no-fly zone for commercial flights to and from Niger. Now, it's important to pay attention here is that, first of all, the ban or the suspension started from ECOWAS. Then what happens? Every action has a reaction. So here is the response from Niger. In retaliation, what they did is, the Niger government also responded, and they suspended flights into Nigeria and overflying planes as well. In fact, it happens that once they have even banned a plane that was carrying Bola Tinubu on his way back from his meeting from the US, I think. Now that means now the Niger government entered into this forced, not really, it was not their will. Most of the things, even the reasons that pushed them to leave ECOWAS is because they are pushed. There were a lot of things that was that made their life really impossible, that didn't make sense for them to stay in ECOWAS. Now on August, after probably 10 days of the regime change, now the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development directed NAMA, meaning in Nigeria, to issue a notice to airmen enforcing the no-fly zone on all commercial flights between Niger and Nigeria. Now, the statement reads like this: the aircraft departing from or aircraft departing from or arriving at the aerodromes within the Niamey flight information region were prohibited from entering Kano until further notice. But it also continues saying that following standard procedures, now following the standard procedures, transitioned into an aeronautical information circular AIC on January 29, 2024. Now, this means that they are renewing the suspension that happened in August two few months ago. Despite all the warning of the aviation stakeholders, this will bring a huge loss to ECOWAS, but particularly to Nigeria, as these three Sahel states holds, totally from the airspace, 50% of the airspace is in the hands of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Now, as we said, earlier, there are certain exemptions to this, but still, really, this is all putting unnecessary deadlock to the situation, because now to renew the suspension. Why do you need to suspend it? This will harm more the economy of Nigeria, really, if we really analyze it and do the maths. ECOWAS will lose more than these countries. Now, it's crucial to highlight also that the suspension of flights can only be lifted by the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development as approved by the presidency and ECOWAS. Well, who is going to lose now? Who is going to lose out of this situation? It's something to be seen. But as the stakeholders aviation have analyzed it yesterday here, we have read that report, what they have published. It's more that, the harm is more on the side of ECOWAS. But despite that, Nigeria wanted to serve the West, their reason is a democratically elected government has to be restored. I mean, I'm going to read, I'm going to bring one of the comments that was written, after I came here and presented this related to this to you last night. And what they said is actually it's a very good example what they brought. Look, China and Russia are neighbors. They have two big countries, really powerful countries or nation now in our world, but they both have two different civilization. None of them interfere in each other's civilization or their political system. So what this is to say now, who is Nigeria to dictate Niger or Mali or Burkina Faso how to lead their country? What kind of leaders for them to have? In fact, in ECOWAS, in their rules and regulation, there is nothing that says that you have to govern, what, or you have to rule out what kind of government lead in your neighboring country. It doesn't say that. You're acting totally out of your mandate, Bola Tinubu. So you better really stay on your lane. That's my message to you. Let us hear from you in the comment section. Please go ahead and share your view. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like what we bring you here, give it thumbs up and share the video with your network. That will help our YouTube algorithm. If you want to help us further, please donate to our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. Also, I will pin it in the comment section. That was it for me. It's a bye-bye for me for now. But thanks again for tuning in. Ciao, ciao.